dashboard to rule them all. Welcome to this talk. I'm Victoria, and with Manon, we will explain you how to use the standard dashboard of Odoo. In today's data-driven world, information is power. Monitoring dashboard empowers you to treat the data you generate every day in Odoo, transforming it into meaningful insights. And those insights can help you to make informed decisions, to identify trends, and ultimately, to drive your business forward. Today, we will dive into a concrete use case. For that, let's pretend that Manon and I founded a company 3 months ago, Drone Land. We produce and we will sell drones in B2B. And this company would not exist without you, because today, you are our investors. And the goal of this meeting between us, the founders, and you, the investors, is to convince you that you made the right choice by believing in us. And for that, we will focus on the sales and finance KPIs. And what else than the standard Odoo dashboard to quickly give us the best insights?
Nothing else.
Indeed, Manon, everything is in it. So for today, no slides needed. Let's directly jump into Odoo.
Thank you, Victoria, for this amazing introduction to our drone length use case. Let's jump directly in our dashboard application. With the filter of 90 days, we can directly see that we are in a good health. This graph shows us that we are in a constant increase in terms of monthly sales revenues.
Manon, we only launched the company 3 months ago.
Yeah.
So it means that we don't have any data to compare with the previous period if we keep the filter on the last 90 days, as we can see there on the green indicator. So maybe it would be better to filter on the last month so that we can compare this month with the one before.
You're right, Victoria. So by changing my filter here and to put it on my 30 days, it will allow me just to compare 2 different periods. My period, so the last 30 days, with the 30 days before my this period. We can directly see that we increase a lot our quotation generated in our sales application, but also the order that we compared to the last period.
Amazing. It's really impressive to see how changing one simple filter enables us to quickly see the evolution of the company. And we see that the number of orders increases really fast from one period to another.
Yeah, and we can have the same conclusion for our total revenue and the average order revenue. That could be explained by the fact that our customer order more quantities or more expensive products. In general, it's really good because that means that more customers are choosing us, and that's a great news. The sales dashboard allows us also to analyze our top quotation and top sale orders.
And maybe we can also show the top salespeople so that our investors can see that we have a great team behind us.
Yeah, you're right. So we have a table for that, which is here. And we can see that Alice is doing amazing.
The employee of the month.
Of course. However, Clémence is facing some challenges because she has the lowest revenue with the highest number of orders.
But don't panic. That's because she's focusing on the SMEs. Maybe we can deep dive into the data of Clémence to get the full story behind it?
Yeah, so by clicking on her name, we will just show all the information related to this specific salesperson. And if we go back in our top quotation, just here, we can see that she has a lot of quotation running, which is really good for Clémence.
Amazing. It's so nice to see that we can easily deep dive into one data to get the full story of it. Manon, I'm thinking about something else. We didn't discuss about the country, so from a geographical perspective, what can we say to our investors?
So for the moment, we only sold product in Belgium, which is normal because we launched the company only 3 months ago.
And do we have other countries that are currently under negotiations for upcoming sales?
Yeah, so what I propose is that we go in our pipeline dashboard to analyze all our upcoming sales. We will just focus first on the different data, and we will come back to our potential new markets a little bit later. So what a good surprise to just see that we have an potential that we will learn that we will potentially earn more than 5 million euros with only 45 open opportunities. That's really good. But let's focus on the details of those numbers. If we look to our pipeline stage, we can see that we have two different sales teams. So we launched a new team a few weeks ago, the south of Europe, and that's something I can just check my legend by putting my mouse directly on my graph. And even if the south team is quite new, we can see that there is a lot of upcoming opportunities for the south team, which is really good for our business.
It's nice to see how many opportunities are about to be closed. And for those upcoming closing, what can we say to our investors about the revenue that we estimated?
Yeah, so for that we have the expected closing table. And as we approach the end of the year, it has become clear that we will not have as many signed contracts as we hoped. But which is really good, is that normally the upcoming year will be really impressive with a lot of potentially new signed contracts.
Amazing.
So you mentioned, Victoria, a few minutes ago that our investor might be interested in our potential new market of countries. As you may know, we participated to the drone showroom in Bordeaux a few weeks ago, and that's why, or that could explain the fact that France is on our top country. To check that, I can just filter on my source drone showroom, and it can confirm what I've just said before, that France is our top country.
And Manon, about France, I know that we have a very promising opportunity coming from Nice, and I would love to show it to our investors. But I'm a bit surprised that we cannot see it here because the CRM application is directly integrated with the dashboard.
Yeah, you're right, Victoria. I just forgot to mention this city on my opportunity. So to find it easily, I can just filter on my friends country. I can go back on my top opportunities table. And here I can click on it to arrive directly on my opportunity because it's fully integrated. I will change my city just here. I will put Nice. I can save it. I can come back to the dashboard. I will just refresh my page. And if we filter again on our top country, we can see that Nice is now visible in my dashboard. That's really cool. One last table that I would like to show you is the top sources table. This is one of my favorite tables because it enables us to see where we attract the most customers. And even if our showroom participation has the most leads in terms of number, Facebook is our top sources with the highest revenue. Maybe we can invest in it.
Amazing. Thank you, Manon. So we know where to invest, but can we invest? For that, let's have a look at our financial health. First, the accounting dashboard. We will only focus on the essentials to quickly get the best insights. And the first thing that I see is already very good is the current income of 800K. Very good for a startup. And this figure directly comes from the profit and loss report of the accounting application directly integrated with the dashboard.
That's great.
Yeah. Also, we see that for the receivables, we have 282K. This is because we have one customer invoice that still needs to be paid. We also have 500K expenses, also directly coming from the profit and loss accounting report. And finally, 600K payables because we still have to pay two vendor bills.
Maybe it could be interesting to show to our investor what are the suppliers behind this payable number.
Indeed, good idea. And for that, I just have to click on it, and I will directly jump into my aged payable report for my accounting application, directly integrated with the dashboard. And there we can see the two suppliers with the open vendor bills.
So cool.
Yeah. Now, if I go back to my dashboard, the key thing to remember is straightforward on the graph below. There. The amounts that we invoice to our customers keeps on increasing.
Yeah, and it's only the beginning because we have 6 sale orders that still needs to be invoiced.
Amazing.
And promising.
What else?
Maybe we can just talk a little bit about the cash flow table.
Of course, the cash. For that, we have the table below with the cash overview. We can see only data for 2023 because it's only a new startup, but it's already very interesting to see that next year we will be able to compare 2024 with 2023.
Yeah.
But for 2023, we see that we received a lot of cash. That's thanks to their investment. And if we remove the cash spent from the cash we received, we end up with a positive cash flow of more than 900K.
That's amazing.
Indeed, Manon. We make a great team together. And
Yeah.
it was blazing fast to have a quick overview of our accounting situation. But I will skip the following detailed tables because I would like to directly jump into my favorite dashboard, the benchmark. It gives a great visual on the financial health of the company. First, Manon, maybe you can remind us what are the investment opportunities that we identified in the sales application?
Yeah, so the idea was to invest in 3 different sources. The first one is the meta advertising, second one is in drone show participation, and the last one is to expand our market in France.
Okay, good. Then let's focus on the ratios that will help us to assess our ability to invest. First, the gross profit margin, the first one, 70%. It means that we generate revenue at low cost.
Just to be sure that everyone is aware, that means that we are profitable, right?
Exactly, Manon. That's because we have great deals with our suppliers and the margin is very high. Now, before we further discuss about the investments, let's check if we can cover our day-to-day expenses. And for that, I would like to take a look at our operating margin to see if we can cover those expenses. Less than 8%, we are in the orange, which means that it's not that good compared to the industry.
But Victoria, that's a little bit strange because normally we have a lot of stock to value.
Indeed, Manon, we didn't value the stock. Let's do it now.
That's why.
For that, I will go into my accounting application and I will go to my miscellaneous operations journal because this is where I would like to book my stock valuation entry. I remove the post-it filter so that I can find my draft entry because it was already done but not posted. I click on it, I post it, and now I go back to my dashboard application. I don't even have to refresh it. I go to the benchmark and amazing, we are in the green. It means that we are efficient at operating business.
That's so cool. Maybe, Victoria, it's a little bit technical. So can you explain to our investor why posting this entry, why valuing the stock, increase our efficiency?
Indeed, Manon, good question. When we valued the stock, we decreased the expenses. The revenue did not change. It's still the same. But the proportion of the revenue compared to the expense is now bigger. So it means that we are more efficient at operating business.
Okay, it's super clear, Victoria. Thank you for this explanation. To finalize, what's the best ratio to assess the profitability?
I would say the debt to equity would be very good to assess our ability to invest. Why? Because it takes the debt into consideration. And it's not because we have money that we can safely invest it, right? But I see that we are at 1.1. It's very good. It means that we meet our financial obligations with more resources than debt. So it means that we can invest safely.
Amazing.
Indeed, Manon. Thanks to this very clear and fast analysis, we know that we should strengthen our marketing efforts by investing in meta advertising, but also in showroom events participation. Also, we know which countries are promising for an expansion, mostly France. And finally, we know that we can go for it thanks to a great financial health.
Thank you, Victoria, for all those amazing explanations. To conclude, we have seen the standard dashboard of Odoo about CRM, sales, and all the accounting aspects of Odoo. But it exists also for all the logistic parts, websites, services, and all the HR applications. What you can also do is just customize your own dashboard to be sure that you have the dashboard fit your own KPIs. Imagine the added value of having that kind of tools. With a super user-friendly interface and the real-time data capabilities, it empowers users to make smart decisions swiftly. So let's take this tool with us and use it to make our businesses stronger, smarter, and ready for whatever comes our way. Thank you for your attention.
So thanks for this nice presentation. I will get to the questions now. So first question, how do we manage access rights for each dashboard?
Good question. Maybe I can show it directly. So the first thing to remember about the access right is that it's very secured. It means that if you don't have the data in the application, you will never see it in the dashboard. Okay, so it's very secured. Then there is a macro level and a micro level for the access rights. The macro one is in the users. If you go there, you can set up some access for the dashboard. So the user can be an admin, and there he will be able to configure the dashboard. And if he is not an admin, he will just see the data. Also, something else that is very interesting, if I go to the dashboard, is that if I go to the configuration, for example, the finance one, then I can restrict some rights. Okay. So if I want only one group of users to access one dashboard, that's completely possible. And maybe one last thing, it's since this version, you can share the dashboard there. You can just copy-paste the link, and then you can send a fixed overview of the dashboard, so it will not be dynamic. It's a fixed view that you can share to anyone.
Okay. Can we change the gauge levels of the ratios, green, orange, red?
Yeah. So I think this question is for the benchmark. So the ratios, the level for the red, orange, and green, that's specific to any industry. So of course, you can customize it up to your own industry. For that, you go to the configurations, and this is the finance benchmark one. Okay, so there you can already change the text, the title, and so on. And if I, for example, edit the first one, I can see that I can there change the design, so I can put there other levels for the reference of the gauge.
Okay. So can standard dashboards be adapted? And can I add my own spreadsheet dashboard to the existing ones?
Yeah, of course. So what we wanted to show today is the KPIs that were selected by default. But of course, you can customize it. You can create your own spreadsheets. And then you can have, it's a configuration in the spreadsheet. And then you can select your own ratios and your own graphs. But for that, I would advise you to check the recording of the talk, what's new in spreadsheet and dashboard, and they explain everything. That was one from yesterday.
Perfect. Is it possible to run a cash flow forecast report that projects bank balance for future periods based on sales invoice and purchase invoice dates? due date.
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah, you can. So actually, in the spreadsheet, if you take the data from the bank, the data with the expected date of the invoice and the vendor bills, you can merge all those data to have a forecast of the cash flow. But that's also, again, maybe more for the talk of yesterday.
Okay. Can I create a dashboard with historical data, know every time I change a value in a field and not only the current value?
I'm not sure what I get with historical data. Actually, you can put a filter on the period, but that's not necessary. If you put the filter as blank, it will just take all the data.
Okay.
Not sure it replies the question, but you can come to me after if you.
Exactly. Can we connect the benchmark of the industry to a source of information that is live to have a pertinent, up-to-date benchmark?
I think this is the level of green, yellow, and orange. So you can just select the own reference that you want. If you want it to be connected, then it would be an API.
Okay. Does frozen refer to the design of the dashboard or the content of the data?
It's the same. It will be like the page of the dashboard that you will be able to see.
Okay. So can you restrict which users can see which dashboards? We've seen that. Have a question, but not sure it's related here really. Is there a possibility to click through to an Odoo model and also keep the filter context in the dashboard? For instance, if you select a month, August, and a salesperson A, you click through the sales order module and it keeps those filters per month equals August and salesperson.
I think that the best is to watch again the talk of yesterday.
Yeah, but I
answer
think
the
that when you
question.
deep dive into a record, it will not keep the filter from the dashboard to be tested. Yeah.
Okay. So if we're using Qlik or Tableau dashboards, why would we need Odoo dashboard?
Because it's integrated. So you have all your applications and the data is directly in the dashboard, so there is no connection needed between all the tools. So that's the added value of dashboard in Odoo.
Okay, perfect. Can changed values stored in Chatter be used in dashboard filters? So which supplier changed prices last month, for example?
This I would also guide to the other talk because they really explain all the configurations.
Okay.
And what you can do is just go to the tech booth in all 7 and ask all your questions about technical things.
Perfect. Well, I think we're done with the questions. then.
Okay,
Thank
good.
you.
Thank you.
you.
Tot het.